Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the Riboceine Health Promotion Knowledge and Wealth Series 1. I'm Dr. Prosper Tettey Doe, the United Kingdom, and we'll have some presentation on our health, and also we'll talk about wealth creation and also how we can help ourselves with our finances and create networking, and also, above all, knowledge, how to improve our knowledge and add value to ourselves. We'll be having various speakers who will be introducing themselves. We'll be having Dr. Gloria Ansa, who is going to make the health presentation. And we have also Dr. KOA, who will be the main host even for tonight. I'm excited, and I hope you are also excited even for this evening. So once again, you are welcome to this series, Riboceine Health Promotion.
Hello. Dr. Ansa. Hello, Dr. Ansa.
Yes, hello, I'm here. I went to say something and
Sorry, all right. So you can take over, and I entreat all of us to mute our mic whilst Dr. Ansa does the presentation. So, Dr. Ansa, please take the floor.
Yes, I'm trying to share my screen, so I was talking the slides to use this. I don't know whether that's what I was doing. That got me into trouble. Documents. Of our things and testimonies. So this beginning slides. So we know that everyone who is alive loves to have a life of impact. You would like to leave a legacy so that when you are no more, you are remembered for more than just being around. So there are key things that people want to do: live a life of legacy and impact. So we talk about the impact community. There's a group of us, lights don't go, who have made up the impact community, who have this objective in mind, that we want to make an impact more than just living. We want to impact the lives of other people with different dreams, and we have different professionals, lecturers, nurses, healthcare workers, counselors, reverend ministers, and all sorts of entrepreneurs. So today we want to focus on the health, because there are two key things you need to be able to make an impact in life: health and wealth. So we are here today to talk about health, and the only reason why we worry about health is when we lose it. You don't want to lose it, you want to maintain it. Too frequently as a people, we are too focused on not doing anything about it, taking our health for granted until we lose it. Then we start worrying, So one of the key challenges that we are faced as human beings is to have health, good health, I mean, it's something that we all need to be able to. You may have all the amount of money that you desire, but without health, you cannot use it well to impact the lives of other people. Now we want to talk about something when it comes to health. Now we all know that the body needs oxygen. Now, everybody needs to breathe in oxygen to survive. But then with oxygen, it's not all good news. When the oxygen gets into the body, it binds with other compounds and performs its functions. But sometimes some of the oxygen molecules find themselves moving around and oxidation takes place. One of the simplest examples is this. If you cut an apple or you take a yam, you cut it and you put it down. After a few hours, you realize that the color has changed. That is because it has come into contact with oxygen. In other areas, we'd call it rusting. When oxygen comes into contact with metals and there's moisture and things like that, it rusts. So the idea of oxygen is not all good news in the body. And therefore, we have to, it's one of the things that we have to look at when it comes to our health. The oxygen that goes to help us to perform the regular functions in the body, in some situations, it may cause certain damages. We will get there. We'll talk about the oxidative stress that causes diseases and affects our health. Now, there are key things. Over the years, there have been many things that have, and researchers that have come up with things that affect our health, studies that affect our health. And in fact, there's one Peter. He said that some of the commonest causes of diseases really is the medicines that we take to kill the diseases. You know, as part of sometimes the curing of one disease leads to another. The process of the curing leads to another. So when we talk about the causes of diseases and things like that, medication errors, problems with medication, over side effects and all those things, they contribute quite significantly to the illness that we have. And in fact, when you talk about adverse events, which is one of the things that are the common cause when we talk about patient safety, medication errors is one of the key of them. So sometimes our traditional way of trying to cure illnesses or deal with diseases can lead to other problems, you know. And globally health is a challenge. And stress, in fact, WHO says that stress-related illnesses are taking over when it comes to the common illnesses that we used to have, like the infectious diseases. Some years ago, we were talking about malaria and meningitis and cholera. Now we are having more of the non-communicable diseases or the chronic diseases. Over 35% of adults globally are stressed. And stress itself is not something you can avoid, really. But the way in which we manage it, our skill sets to manage it is the challenge. A lot of people don't know how to manage their stress, leading to diseases. 39% of adults globally are either overweight or obese. And that is also a risk factor for many other diseases like cardiovascular illnesses, diabetes, hypertension, and all kinds of things. Then 7 of the top leading causes of death, all chronic, non-communicable diseases, heart disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, you know, like poorly managed asthma, bronchitis, all those things, Alzheimer's, stroke, lung cancer, diabetes, kidney diseases, you know. And in fact, even in Ghana, this week, the whole month, I think it's one of the like Renal Society of Ghana, they are pushing just to make people aware of how to protect your kidneys, because that is also, kidney diseases is also on the rise in the country, especially among fairly young people. So these are challenges that we don't have just as individuals, but nationally there are health challenges. I mean, the global health burden is becoming bigger. And then all over the world, everybody has health problems. It may look a bit different in their country, but it's everywhere. So it's one of the key challenges. Now, God in his own wisdom has a way, you know, God has a way of dealing with everything he created. He made a way for all this. So with the oxidation that we talked about and the damage that can be caused by the free oxygen molecules, there's also the antioxidants. Now, the antioxidants are supposed to be like They are scavengers. They mop up the free oxygen molecules that are causing damage. They are called antioxidants. Some are very natural. So on the left side, the tallest, they are all naturally occurring. They are in your body. And then on the right side, when you talk about vitamin E, vitamin C, the carotenoids, ubiquinol, alpha lipoic acid, the trace elements, all of them are things we can take to increase the antioxidant levels in our system. The idea is that you should always have we should always have adequate amounts of these antioxidants in our system. When there are adequate amounts in our system, then you can have optimum health. You can have optimum health. That is how the body protects itself naturally. Now, one of the most important antioxidants in the body is glutathione, which occurs in every cell of our body. It's inside the cells. It strengthens our immunity, reduces inflammation, slows down aging. And apart from being an antioxidant itself, it supports other antioxidants, So overall, it improves your function, mental function, general performance. And the challenge is that as we grow, glutathione, the level of glutathione in our cells reduces. So that's just purely by age. From the age of 20 years old, it starts reducing. Then there are other conditions: poor diet, ill health, lifestyle habits like taking in alcohol, and environmental pollution and other conditions that we really have no control over. So these are causes of low glutathione. And research has demonstrated that in over 74 diseases that have been listed, including some of those that have been listed, glutathione has been found to be low. So low glutathione is associated with these 74 diseases. And therefore, it means that if you are able to raise it up, then you are likely to have an reduced incidence or better control or prevention when it comes to these diseases. And therefore, one of the key challenges for researchers when it comes to health has been to find ways of increasing ribosine in the cell, or increasing glutathione in the cell. And Professor Nagasakawa, over 25 years of research, took him to bring the most advanced glutathione technology that is available now, that is ribosine. And the glutathione is available, other forms are available, but you can't take it by mouth, just by mouth. If you take glutathione by mouth like a capsule or syrup, it will be digested, broken down in the stomach, in the intestinal system. So the novelty of what he discovered and his team discovered is that he found a way in which the cells can increase their glutathione levels. And that is the ribosine. That is the marvel called ribosine, which he discovered. And when it comes to ribosine, there are thousands of research that supports. And there are plenty patents. There are over 32 peer-reviewed studies, plenty patents to the ribosine to preserve it. And therefore, for many, many years, almost over 700 years to come, the patents will be valid. The patent for ribosine will be valid. So all these are articles that suggest that when you increase the glutathione levels, amazing things can happen. And in fact, it was demonstrated in some of the COVID patients. There are articles to that effect. And then some of us have personal experiences where we ourselves took the ribosine, we recommended to other people, and we had very good outcomes. And briefly, one of the things that has also been realized is that I mean, I said that glutathione is associated with a number of low glutathione is associated with a number of diseases. One of the ones that is well demonstrated is hypertension. That glutathione, when there's excess oxidation, or what we have oxidative stress, you have too much oxidation and you don't have enough antioxidants in the system, then we have what we call oxidative stress. And these have all been linked to hypertension, and from how they work, from how the oxidative oxygen radicals react. They affect your kidneys, they affect the heart, so, and they affect the blood vessels. And these all come together to cause hypertension, or to make it worse. Or for those who already have hypertension, it makes it more difficult to control. So the person keeps on taking the medication regularly, but still. So there's a large body of literature to support that when the glutathione levels are low and there's oxidative stress, it is linked to hypertension. So usually what we say that the key point when it comes to hypertension and glutathione is that oxidative stress is considered a major mechanism in hypertension, and that the formation of these oxidation species, the extra oxygen molecules running around, it contributes to dysfunction. And the dysfunction is in the blood vessels, the kidneys, and the central nervous system. And then also there's evidence to suggest that when there's chronic inflammation and there's excessive reactive oxidation species, then hypertension is also. So frequent inflammation, all those things that we are fighting against, they mediate the pathway of hypertension in the presence of low glutathione. So this is just one example. There are many examples that we would be talking about, bringing the literature to link to glutathione. And there are many evidences. We have people talking about their experiences from the audience. But what is recommended, what we are recommending is that when you use ribosine and improve the glutathione level in the cell, not in the blood, it's in the cell. A lot of people have different testimonies. A lot of people have different testimonies. My testimony was I started taking glutathione, the ribosine, in December 2018. So it was something I was taking, and I used to have these like pins and needles sensation. When I wake up in the morning, I have to walk funny for some few minutes before it resolved. But then when I started taking the ribosine, in fact, about 3 months later, then I suddenly realized that the thing had gone. And since then, I haven't had that anymore. So I continued taking it. Then come January 2020, March 2020, COVID comes. I am a health worker, so I was a frontliner. I was the lead person handling COVID in my hospital, the team that was supposed to handle COVID. So I could not avoid coming into contact with cases. Then I am also an asthmatic, so I was particular about that. So in June, I started, my asthma is pretty well controlled, But sometime in June, I realized that I'm having to I hardly ever use salbutamol, the blue inhaler. And then I started using it more than once a day, twice after using my regular inhaler. And I realized that there was something not right. Started having this chest tightness, which was not normal. So I said, let me go and do the COVID test. Lo and behold, it came up positive. That was scary. June 2020. I was really scared. I was even more scared for my children. So they went to test, and thank God they were negative. But then those days we would say stay at home for 14 days, you test, and then for us health workers, you have to test negative before you go back to work. Throughout, I never had any other symptom. There was just that initial chest tightness that cause. But throughout, I continued taking my Riboceine. And I came out whenever I told people that I tested for, they were like, hey, Gloria, you, like, I was worried about you because of the asthma. And I said, no, I was fine. So thank God I was on the Riboceine. And I came out fine. I just had to stay at home and just test negative to go back to work. But otherwise I was fine. I was healthy, and that is my testimony. So what we are saying that you try it yourself and see, and then you have your testimony to tell others, because it is good. It's worked for so many people. It is worth trying because it has the potential to change your life. So I would hand over back to Prof. Frank Mills to take the testimonies and then end us in the next few minutes that are left. We told ourselves we do this 1 hour. So even though we started fairly a bit like 7:15, we'll still end at 8 because that's what we want to stick to. So I encourage you to try it, to recommend it to somebody else. So who can take Riboceine? Anybody. Whether you have a health problem or not, you can take it. You will feel better. Performance is better. You generally feel well. For people who are going through some health challenge, it's also recommended. And then for people who are recovering from some illness, it's also recommended. The good thing about it is that because it's natural, you can take it with all medications. There are no demonstrated side effects as of now. So we encourage you to invite you to try this. So I think I'll end here. And then Frank, over to you to continue. Thank you so much.
Over to you, Joe Latte. Over to you, Joe Latte. Thank you very much, Dr. Gloria Ansa. It's been so splendid. I've learned a lot today, a lot. And I know all of us here had also learned one or two. Yes, when it comes to testimonies on the Riboceine, is something that a day will not be enough for us to talk about it. Myself, I have my own story. I had this diabetes for almost about 11 years, and it was the things was just escalated. Almost every week or two, I need to be rushed to the hospital to be given drip to lower the blood sugar, even though I was taking my medication. Because that time, the work I was doing was so stressful, so stressful. I hardly had time for myself. My wife always used to fight me that, look, irrespective of everything, you have your children to take care of, and you are the hope of your children right now. So you need to take care of yourself. So I actually increased my doses on the metformin, the glycine and stuff, but still it wasn't using anything better until I met with Dr. Asari on this Riboceine, and he told me that there are better ways to take care of certain things. Sometimes all you need is to empower your body, and your body will take care of itself. I didn't believe it. So I said, okay. He gave me some articles to read about it, and then I started using it. Oh my God. From 2018 that I was introduced to it to date, I've never been hospitalized to be given any drip again. Even my medication, far better. I hardly even take the medication. I had this stomach sensitivity for almost about 22 years. We can all eat together, and after that, I'll have this diarrhea or this kind of stomach aches and stuff. Especially when I'm taking spicy foods. So I hardly take even Chishinga. But today you can just invite me for Chishinga study and you will be marveled. So yes, the Riboceine does work. And the beautiful thing about it is that it is your body itself that heals or works on whatever is happening to you. And it's just beautiful. And I don't have to talk so much because 1 hour is closer. So I will give the floor to anyone who wants to also share a testimony or two. I can see some hands up. Dr. Prosper Tettey Doe, is your hand up because I can see on your screen?
Yes, my hand is up.
I can give you the chance. Okay, that's good. That's good. So, Dr. Prosper, you can share with us your testimony.
Thank you, Max. Morning and good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Yes, I was introduced to Riboceine in May last year by my sister-in-law, and I read about it because as a doctor, I need to know where the thing was coming from. So I started taking it because the evidence was so much compelling. Not knowing it was preparing me for something to come. So just fast track, in September last year, I had COVID, and I had high temperature, and I went to the hospital to find out what, and they checked PCR and all the tests, they confirmed that it was COVID. So immediately I had to go into isolation ward. I was alone in that side ward on my own for infection control. And the good thing was that, well, I took my Riboceine with me whilst I went on admission. And the doctors will give me the usual treatment. And after they've left, then I'll take my Riboceine. And I realized that, in fact, I didn't need to be on very intensive treatment in terms of oxygen intensive and all that. I was walking around in the room, which was unusual for me because I had another condition, which is called sickle cell, those who know, SC. And I was actually among those called vulnerable groups in the UK. So I was in what they call shielding during the time I was working from home. So the two combined was not a good combination, COVID and then sickle cell hematologically. But thank God, I was within 7 days, I was discharged. And in fact, the average period of stay then usually is 3 weeks minimum, but 7 days I was out, and I've been well since then. I didn't have any crisis, sickle cell crisis, and I've not had any crisis since then, and I've been well and continue to take the Riboceine with another product, which is the 357, omega 357 combination. So yes, I'll recommend it to everyone, and it's very good. I'll continue to take it, and I recommend it to others too. And I have even one of my colleagues on the line who also is taking it with his wife. I'm recommending it. So that is good. Riboceine is useful. Thank you.
That is beautiful. That's so beautiful. Look, sometimes if you listen to testimonies like this, you think it's just a formulated story. They are real. It's just sometimes too sweet to be true, but they are real. Unless you use it, technology said something. Don't believe me because I am seeing it, but use it yourself for you to have your own testimony. Use it yourself. Wow, this is serious. This is serious. Wow, I've never heard this story. That is serious. Thank you very much, Dr. Prosper Tettey. It's just amazing. Sickle cell and COVID. Wow, that's amazing. That's so amazing. Thank you so much. Please, Madam Georgina Fua, are you going to share a testimony? Because I can see your hand up.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay,
that's
morning. My testimony goes like this. I was having excruciating pain in my knee. At the time, I didn't know what to do after the doctors had put me on a lot of painkillers, which was also affecting my liver, and even I could see some threats with my kidneys because I had taken a lot. Because it went so much. It was so bad that I couldn't even turn when I'm on bed, and I couldn't climb steps. When I sit down, I can't get up. My grandchildren have to pull me up. And one day, a friend of mine, Catherine, in UK, because both of us were nurses, and we worked together. She knows because she sent me the link, and I didn't I didn't even watch it. Then she called, Gina, did you watch? I said no. She sent it again. I didn't. Then the third time, I said no, let me watch. And then when she calls me, I'll be able to tell her I did, just to stop bothering me. Not knowing that that was my gift. I watched it, and immediately I asked for the product. That was in 2020, August. I started the product, and I joined the project as well. In fact, I was so relieved. Within 2 weeks, I could walk, I could climb steps. My grandchildren were jubilating with me. Oh, I was so shocked. No more pain. I could even run. 2 weeks. So I said, well, this thing is a miracle. So I started also, broadcasting it to others. I came to Ghana in 2020 December, and I found my husband who wasn't well. Men are at times very difficult. And being a reverend minister, he wouldn't take any medication. But when he saw me, he knew that something had changed. I was so young, I was so energetic, my shape, everything. And he was intrigued. I said, it is this thing I'm taking. And I know you are not well, so I have to put you on it. And he said, give me 2 weeks to think about it. After 2 weeks, he started taking it. And today, he is even preaching it to everybody. I gave it to my sister-in-law, who also came. Whenever I go on holidays, I do health check on them. So I found that her BP was so high. And she said, Ekuma, when I'm walking, it's like I want to fall down. I said, you're having stroke, almost at the point of having stroke. So I put her also on it. And within 2 weeks, her BP had stabilized. I gave to, I think, about 3 or 4 people, some with asthma, some with abdominal pain, and it settled all of them. But the last one, when I came back to UK, there was a friend of mine who was having pain also in her knees. And the symptoms were so the same. And she said that it's like when you are driving a car and then the car will be in third gear and then it will come back to the first gear. I said the same thing I was having as well. I put her also on it. She took it and then she went for review. They did an X-ray and the doctor said, wait a minute, something has shifted. What did you do? And she said, I said, did you tell them? She said, no. I said, oh, you should have. Anyway, so I continued to tell everybody about this Riboceine. It is good and it is helpful. That is my story.
It is good and it is helpful. Thank you very much, Madam. It's just wonderful. Just too wonderful. Just too wonderful. Thank you so much. And when it comes to Riboceine, we have a lot of testimonies. Talking of the knee problem, I also had the knee problem for almost about 6 years. I couldn't squat. And when I started using the Riboceine, it was just amazing. Now I wish you can see, I can squat and get up. Yes. I can squat and get up. So amazing. And thank you so much for your testimonies. Sometimes these testimonies strengthen others. Okay, and like the good book says, we shall overcome the devourer by our testimonies, because testimonies are very powerful. Sometimes somebody will be in bed, like you said, that video that you watch caused a turn in your heart, caused a turn in your mind to even have a try of the Riboceine. Okay, and so these testimonies goes a long way to help others to also have a feel. Look, these things, the joy of it is that if you give it to someone and the person becomes healthy, or if the person becomes better, it gives you some kind of fulfilling, okay? Some fulfillment that you also touching some lives, okay? You also touching some lives. You may have all the money in this world, but the thing is, after death, or later in your days. The question is, how many lives have you touched? How many people have you helped? That is the most important thing. Like we have a proverb in our Kan language that we came just to leave our name, not for us to stay forever. Okay, we came to leave our name. So let your name count. Maybe this little thing that you help someone out will imprint your name in their hearts for years to come. Thank you very much. I think our time is up. It's almost getting to 8. So we will share the other testimonies. Those who have other testimonies to hold it on for next week. Next week, same time, we're going to have our health session, just as Dr. Gloria did today, and it's going to be very powerful. If you have a question, the floor is open. If you have something to share with us, the floor is open. Dr. Kweko Inasa, please, are you around? Dr. Keoe.
Yes, please. I just
you have anything to share with us?
I just want to say thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. It's
all right. All right. Thank you. All right. So thank you very much. And I'm so pleased to have you on the call today. Please, those who have testimonies, let's prepare it for next week. Share it. You have no idea who you are going to touch. Okay. So thank you very much, Madam Egrecia Damayo. And thank you very much, Madam. Yes. Thank you. Madam Georgina Efua, Dr. Prosper Tettey Doe. Thank you very much. You've been so much helpful in this community. And thank you so much, Dr. Gloria, for that health delivery. God bless you so much. And thank you so much, Ernest Nana Amankwa. God bless you so much. Thank you so much, Peldo. You've been very punctual in all our meetings. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Stephen Akute. God bless you. Thank you so much, Florence Munike. Florence, thank you so much for being on the call. Thank you, Adiza. Thank you, Iseta Bondu Menye. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Dr. KOA. Yes, we are so happy to have you on the call, and I want to see you same time next week. And it's bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right. Yes. Bye.